Hi, my presentation today is on technology and food, specifically how technology affects how food is made, sold, and consumed here in America today and also around the world, focusing on how in the 21st century we're turning more and more towards technology to answer the problems that we face in the food industry. The food industry today has grown quite large, specifically in America. Um, There's some numbers up on the slide kind of explaining just how large that is, and it's had a huge impact on um, how we do things here in America. Um, but because of that large demand for food that we have here, there's a lot of time and effort that's put towards the study and the more efficient production of food. On this slide, we have a quote from Mr. Geiger. What he's basically saying here is that not only is technology playing a bigger and bigger part in how food is made and consumed these days, but also sometimes your ability to even compete on the food market is contingent upon your ability to implement new technologies and use them to your advantage. So, a big effect that technology has on the food industry is that people have so much more knowledge about food than there ever has been before. And with that knowledge comes the increased potential for food to be better uh, in both nutrition and in the flavor. And because of that, people even come to expect much more of food. Food can be very personalized. Uh, you can go to a store today and be very picky about exactly what it is that you're looking for in nutrition and flavor, and there's someone out there who's selling it for you. So food today has become very, very personalized and individual because of the vast knowledge that we have now about food. How does technology affect how food is sold, specifically in retail? The first thing that comes to my mind is the Walmart pickup system. It's basically an app or the website you can go to and you buy everything that you need beforehand, and then you drive to the store or to the pickup station and someone loads your groceries for you. It's very quick, it's very convenient, and that's kind of the main point here is just that convenience has been such a big driver for how are being sold. Um, Another great example is what's being called the retail store of the future, Amazon Go. So what Amazon Go is, if you don't know, is it's these stores where you just walk in, you scan your phone for a code that's connected to your Amazon account, and then you go in and pick up whatever you need. There are cameras that are watching you. They know whatever it is you're grabbing, and then when you leave, it just adds up those things and it charges it to your Amazon account. So you just walk in, grab what you need, and leave, and it's very convenient. There's no checkouts lines, there's no registers. It's just very quick and easy, and it's done very well for itself. People seem to think that that's the direction that the market is going. So, so how does technology affect how food is manufactured? This is specifically talking about the manufacturing, not so much restaurants. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But a good example of how technology is affecting manufacturers is in the example of JBS Beef Company. They automated the process of butchering. So it's a really cool system that they set up. Basically, a side of beef comes through, the system scans it, and then cuts that side of beef in the best way for that specific side. Then that piece goes on, a new one comes and it reevaluates and cuts again in the best way for that new side. So it's a very cool system, works very well. It's much more efficient than a human who would have to think about it for a while or process what they were doing. But it's also much safer because you previously would have had a human working there holding a saw for long hours. There's a chance for injury. But now the humans are all working behind the scenes, just making sure that the robot does what it needs to be doing. So another effect that technology has had is some people, they look at all this technological innovation and stuff and they say, I don't want to be that. They don't want to be the repetitious, type of producer where they're always giving the same thing. They want to embrace the art of doing something. What comes to mind for me is like a barista or a chef who just really loves doing something that really would be almost impossible to automate. So, how does technology affect restaurants? This is mostly talking about fast food, and in fast food, the main thing that seems to push many of them is efficiency. Just getting a lot of sales, more money, something like that. But so because of that push for efficiency, one turn that a particular company made, McDonald's, went to the kiosk. And there was a lot of controversy about whether that's taking away people's jobs, things like that. But for the most part, they were praised because of how efficient the system was. Until they found out a little bit later by the study, I believe it was Business Insider that I got this from, but it says here 78% of consumers would be less inclined to go somewhere that has an automated ordering kiosk. So even if the system is more efficient, getting customers through faster, you're not really doing yourself any favors if customers aren't coming there in the first place. So that's really the issue that happened with that. What Chick-fil-A did instead is they did what's called dine-in mobile ordering, which is where it's a lot like the Walmart pickup that we talked about earlier, but you order off of your phone, and then when you walk into the restaurant, you put in a table number that you're sitting down at, and they bring the food right to you. So your food can be pre-made and ready as soon as you get there, but you can still get that dine-in experience. You don't have to go through the drive-through and just drive off. You can get the dine-in experience, but have the food ready almost immediately. So, something that seems to come up when talking about technology and robotics is the question, are robots going to steal all of our jobs? And that is partially true, that robots and automation will begin to replace many of the human tasks or jobs that we have today, but more jobs will be created through that. A good example is, say, a McDonald's cashier would no longer be needed with the implementation of a kiosk that would perform that task. But at the same time, more jobs would be created for people who know how to build those kiosks and people who can fix those kiosks if something goes wrong. So I think the jobs will continue to increase. I don't think jobs will start to run out, but I think jobs will start to require more education, and people will be desired more for their ability to use their brains, process how things work, and to be able to fix things rather than their ability to actually just do a task with their hands. So the job market will change in that way, but I don't think that we will start to run out of jobs with the advancement of technology. So in summary of all this, I just want to say that there's a real value to technology that some people miss when you think about all of our time here on Earth. It's very limited, and each and every day we make choices with what we do with that limited time that it's given us. You can really take technology and use it to your advantage or to your disadvantage with those choices. You can use technology to your advantage to save you time so that you can devote more time to things that matter, or you can use technology to waste time and to, give your life over to it and just waste time. But really, there's a real value in technology if you know how to use it properly. Okay, so thank you all for listening. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them for me. I'll try to answer or respond to the best of my ability. Thank you.